I was 18 years old when I was first introduced to network marketing. My father was drawing circles on a piece of paper, and when I saw the numbers multiply and multiply, I just couldn't believe what I saw. It was the most ingenious concept I had ever seen in my life. Just seeing the possibility of having success by basically helping others having success, there's nothing like this, ever. And from that day, I decided this was going to be the thing I would do for the rest of my life. I immersed myself into the industry. I bought everything I could get my hands on: magazines, books, tapes at the time. I went to live seminars, workshops, and I did this for many, many years. It's funny because for some reason I didn't have much success. I was trying hard. I was trying to build my business, but things were not going well. It is frustrating when you see others having success, and sometimes they join the business and they achieve better things faster than you. You've been around for a long time. You know more than they do. They seem like, they don't know what they're talking about, yet they have better success. And I try to understand what was going on. And so I tried with my family, friends. I've walked the shopping mall, talking to the sales clerk, giving tapes, and I went to the parking lot and put cards and flyers on car windshields. I did a 3-foot rule, talking to strangers at the grocery store, embarrassing my wife. I've done all kinds of things. And then I discovered the internet. I said, wow, that's amazing. I have access to millions of people. And I thought, that's perfect. They don't know me. It's going to be the best way. Well, I figured over the years that it's not because if your own friends, people you know don't trust you or are not interested in what you have to show them, a stranger will not be better. And so after working and buying all of these trainings, I got to tell you, I've been buying course after course after course, spending multiple thousands of dollars on all kinds of training. And I was always excited. I would buy this new training, and I would tell my wife, and the more I was telling her, the more years passed by, the less interested she got. At some point, I could see she started to doubt that I was ever going to have any success in this business. You see, I wanted her to be proud of me, to feel that I'm helping the family, that I'm contributing, that we can do the things we always dreamed of doing. But for some reason, when I looked at her face, her eyes, I remember one day I come back from work and I've been using the credit card, just maxed out on the credit cards, and she saw the bill one day, and I come back from work, and when I get in the house, she looked at me, and I didn't see that look of proudness in her eyes. I felt she no longer believed that I was the man she thought I was. That was a hard day. She never said it. She always loved me, always gave me attention, but I could feel things had changed. I very nearly gave up, but I don't know. It's crazy because I always seemed to be doing what the heavy hitters were doing. I would attend the events, I would read the books, I would improve my skills, I would be consistent, I would be persistent, but I was going nowhere. And every time I used my credit card to buy this new training, I was filled with tremendous guilt. Going on a trip when I knew I could go on a trip with the family instead, but I was going on a trip for my company. Really sad. And my story was going on like this for years. And I just couldn't imagine that I was going to quit. I couldn't just go back to a job or a traditional business like I had, where you just work and there's like no future. And just when I was totally discouraged, something happened. You know, when you do more for others than you do for yourself, well, here's what happened. My second daughter, Miley, I've been teaching her and my other kids about personal development, all the books I read, and that you have to have a vision, and you need to envision your future in the present. Don't talk about the dream house you're going to have. Talk about the dream house you have now, as it had already happened. Well, we were driving back home that day, and we could see the house, our current house, like the one we were living in the distance. And she looked, and she said from the back of the seat, she said, "Isn't it amazing that we used to live there?" And that moment got to me. I knew everything I taught her, that sometimes you teach your kids things and you think they don't listen. Well, she had listened. She was talking about the future, where we're going to be, and that house was the past. She got it. And right there, I decided I was going to win. I couldn't let down my kids. I couldn't show that everything I taught them was not working. I had to prove to my kids that what I taught them about life, about having what you want and doing and being the person you want to be, it can happen. Dreams come true. I would not let them down. So I had to figure out a better way. And it took some time, but I found a mentor who really knew what he was talking about. That day, I remember when I picked the phone and I called him, I was so nervous. He must have thought I was on some drugs or something. And that day, I dropped the success mask. You know, the one that you put on when you're talking to other leaders and you don't want them to think you're a loser. And so I dropped the success mask and I told him everything I've been going through. The bills, the conversations with my wife, everything that I've been doing, desperately trying to get out of debt and giving a better life for my kids, you know, my family. And he listened. And at some point, he made me understand that things would change. And he said he agreed to work with me. And I was so thrilled. I couldn't believe it. And I started to work with him. And it was like my life changed overnight. You see, sometimes, and here's what happened over the years, is I would buy a training program and I would follow it, but never really implementing it like I should have. I would just do a little bit. And the more I bought, the less I got involved in those trainings because I lost faith. I lost confidence. Confidence in me, confidence in my ability to make it happen. And what this guy did is he took me through baby steps and made me start to believe in myself again, because he had me focused on one thing that I could control, and he taught me right, and I did it, and I had success. And I did the next move, and success, and next one. And eventually I mastered every single aspect of the business. Now, I can't say I'm the best of the best. There's always improvement that you can make, but I was getting in better and better. And it's amazing how fast you can succeed when you align yourself with someone who knows what they're talking about and actually cares about your success. And so what I did differently is I trusted him, I put my faith in him, and everything he told me to do, I did. And actually, a couple years ago, he and I started to build a new company. And in a matter of a few months, I was named the top recruiter in that company. Can you believe this? The guy that used to be the one calling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prospects and no one shows any interest, and then suddenly I become one of the top leaders in that company. How could it be? You change one thing at a time. Today, I travel to exotic locations around the world and now have an organization that's spread multiple countries. I get to spend time with them. We're now friends. We have fun. We build together. It's truly a dream come true. I don't have the stress of my career, my first career, running a traditional business and never really be free. I work from home. My income is probably 1% of my effort. The rest is all my organization. So my income is not dependent on me. It's a team thing. So it's just amazing how things can change when you just are with the right people. What a blessing.